Was that vulnerable enough for you?
I mean, my jaw dropped, and I feel your journey within my heart.
Thank you.
Um, Forbes, you're a force to be reckoned with. Okay, so the professor is legally blind, but he saw something, gem, a diamond in you. And sometimes that's how it is, you know? We have to sometimes be silent and look for the gem. Yeah.
You
Well,
also have you also have to understand, I think, one of the lessons of that is that it took someone outside of me, a mentor, to have a belief in me. And it's not the first time where somebody took a risk. And I think that if you are someone who's gone down the road, if you're in business or you're established, that you should turn around and lift up someone else. Be that mentor to someone else. And if you're young and you're looking, find someone who's doing what you're doing. Apprentice with them, reach out to them, learn from them, and offer to work for free. I've done that a lot. One of my first mentors when I graduated college, I went to work for a billionaire. You mentioned that earlier, Kate, that you envisioned that. Well, I've lived with a billionaire when I was 21 years old, him and his wife. And I learned in my world, I grew up with no money. In fact, I tell a funny story. I had no money. I grew up with a very loving family in a very small house. My dad spent 3 years in the hospital when I was growing up, but we had a lot of love. But I saw, like I said, other people. Now, this is 30 or 40 years ago, long before the internet. And I remember Mrs. Grace and I are in the car one day, and she turned to me and she said, "You need to get Louis Vuitton out of the trunk." And I said to her, "I'm sorry, who's in the trunk?" And she said, "Oh, you'll learn." And I said, "Yes, I will." And that's what I advise you to do if you're on your way up. Make sure that you learn a lot. If you're already up there, turn around and help somebody else.
okay, Forbes, you're my mentor starting today.
Okay.
Yes?
Yes, you asked, why not? I just said I'd love to go to Korea. It is a great idea. I'd be happy to mentor you and let's make this happen.
You're welcome.
I got to Coast. I've always dreamed of going to Costa Rica. I put that on my vision board. Last year, I spent 2 months living and working and teaching in Costa Rica. And then I wanted to go to Dubai. Boom, I got 2 first-class tickets and a speaking job in Dubai. Let's make this happen.
Let's make this happen, folks. Well, so what has helped you get through mental health challenges in your lowest low? What was the strategy you took?
Well, that's a funny thing. I've had lots of lows. If you want to enjoy your life truly, and it should be a roller coaster, there's beautiful highs, there are bound to be low lows. There was a time, and I'm working on writing a book about this called The Forbes Factor, what this means, this name, how I've gone through really tough times. In 1998, 99, my mom called me to tell me that she had cancer. Within 6 months, my dad called me to tell me that he had cancer. I did not know within a year they would both die and that 9/11 would happen. And 9 of the firemen, excuse me, who died that day were guys that I went to high school with. My brother-in-law is a fireman. This is a pretty low low. And then I said I was 41 years old and I was a little lost. I was married but had no children. We tried for 5 years. And lo and behold, I said, I want to get pregnant. We did. I got pregnant with twins, which is extraordinary, but challenging at 42 to push out 2 small babies. And for 12 years of my life, I'd raised a little boy from South Central Los Angeles who was a little blacker than my t-shirt, my shirt here. And I was not his mother, but he was my bonus son. And 6 months after I gave birth to my twins, my little boy was murdered. He was walking from a haircut to a church on a Sunday. A kid who was the same color as him, but wanted to get into a gang, walked up behind my boy and shot him 10 times and left him for dead on the sidewalk. Let me tell you. So it was a very, very low, low for me. And I had an opportunity to redo my home. I'm a very much out of the box thinker. And someone came to me and said, look, your house is very small. You have only 2 bedrooms and you have 2 new kids. And so they said, we can knock your house down for $25,000 and build you something new. And I said, well, I don't have the 25, but I have an idea. And they said, what? I said, why don't we blow up my house? So what do you mean? Now, this is a very unconventional thing to do, but I will just share with you. I said, I live in Hollywood and let's blow up my home. And I went on the internet. I firmly believe when you're at your low, low, you do not say, I don't know, because you never know the answer to something, right? And so I decided to do something very unique. And that would be to blow up my house. Now,